listen to me. God says, this is the end of your tough time. Not tomorrow, not next year, not after another storm. Now, the heavens have already written a decree, and the decree says, enough. Enough of the tears that fall in secret. Enough of the pain that has worn your spirit thin. Enough of the waiting that felt endless. Enough of the nights when you questioned whether God had forgotten you. God says, this is the end. You have reached the turning point of your destiny, and from this moment forward, everything begins to shift in your favor. You see, when God speaks, time itself listens. When God declares an end to your struggle, creation rearranges itself to honor His word. Every closed door begins to tremble. Every mountain begins to move. And every force that stood against you begins to bow. God is not silent today. He is saying, your season of sorrow is over. Your time of trial has served its purpose. Now I will lift you, I will establish you, I will prove that I was with you all along. There were moments when you thought your prayers were lost in the wind. There were moments when you felt unseen, unheard, unnoticed. But God was never far. He was observing the test of your faith, watching how you endure the breaking, the delays, the disappointments, and the rejections. He saw how you did not quit even when your heart was bleeding. He saw how you kept believing even when nothing made sense. That faith has spoken for you. That perseverance has reached heaven. And now heaven responds with the power. God is announcing an end to the drought, an end to the silence, an end to the inner war you've been fighting. Do not look at your circumstance anymore. They are about to lie to you. They will look the same for a moment, but everything invisible is already changing. The roots of your suffering are being cut off. The forces that held you in delay are losing strength. You may not feel it yet, but the shift has begun. This is how God works quietly, suddenly, and completely. The same way morning replaced the night without noise, God is replacing your sorrow with peace, your fear with faith, your loss with restoration. For some of you, the struggle was not financial, it was emotional. You were tired of pretending to be strong, tired of fighting unseen battles. You were carrying weights that no one else could see. And yet, through it all, you did not curse God. You whispered through your tears, I will still trust you. And that whisper reached Him. That whisper became a seed. And today, God is watering that seed with favor. He is saying, I saw how you endured. I saw how you loved when you were unloved. I saw how you gave when you had nothing left. Now I will reward you openly. My friend, the season of breaking was never punishment. It was preparation. God was building endurance in you, patience in you, strength in you. You were being stretched, not destroyed. You were being pruned, not rejected. You were being hidden, not forgotten. Everything that seemed like a delay was actually divine timing. God does not rush His masterpiece. He allows pressure to produce purity, pain to produce purpose, and silence to produce strength. And now, after all that has been forged in the fire, He says, enough. When God says enough, all of creation echoes it. You will start to notice divine coincidences, doors opening that once were sealed shut, people coming into your life who carry keys, situations that suddenly turn around. You will sense peace returning to your mind. You will feel a new strength rising within your heart. You will wake up one morning and realize something has changed. That is the mark of divine intervention. That is how God moves. But hear me clearly. God does not end the tough time without a reason. Every trial He ends carries a testimony. Every storm He calms carries a revelation. You were never meant to go through the fire and come out empty. You were meant to come out refined, wiser, and filled with the divine authority. God allowed the pain so that when He lifts you, you will not boast in yourself, but in His power. The tough time was the soil where humility and the faith were born. Now that they have taken root, God can trust you with the blessings that will not destroy you. For some of you, this tough time came because you prayed dangerous prayers. You asked God to take you higher, to make you stronger, to use you for His glory. And God answered that prayer not with ease, but with endurance. He removed the things you thought you needed so He could show you what you truly need Him. He allowed loneliness so you could find companionship in His presence. He allowed the loss so you could see that nothing earthly defines your worth. He allowed the struggle so your faith could mature beyond emotion. And now, because you endured, He will honor you. There is a rhythm to God's plan. Before every elevation, there is isolation. Before every breakthrough, there is breaking. Before every public victory, there is a private battle. That battle was your classroom. That silence was your teacher. You learned the lessons that no sermon could teach. You learned to rely not on people, not on logic, not on your own strength, but on God. That dependence is your power. That surrender is your weapon. And now, God will use what tried to destroy you as the platform for your destiny. When God says, this is the end of your tough time, He is not just speaking about comfort. He is speaking about transformation. You are about to step into a version of yourself that could only be born through fire. You will no longer carry the same fears, doubts, or insecurities. You will walk with quiet confidence because you have seen what survival looks like. You will not beg for approval anymore because you know who sustains you. You will not chase what left you because you know God replaces better than He removes. You may ask, but how can I believe this when my situation hasn't changed yet? Faith is believing the voice of God above the noise of circumstances. Faith is standing in the middle of the storm and saying, the rain may still be falling, but the season has shifted. Faith does not wait for proof. It creates proof. And when God sees faith, He responds with miracles. The moment you decide to believe that your tough time has ended, the spiritual atmosphere around you changes. The angels of God move on assignment. The power of delay breaks. Some of you are entering a season where things will happen quickly. What took years will suddenly take days. What seemed impossible will suddenly become effortless. Not because you worked harder, but because the wind of God is blowing in your direction. The favor that was hidden is about to find you. The opportunities that were blocked are about to open. You will be surprised at how fast everything shifts once God says, now. But do not forget, when the tough time ends, you must not return to the mindset that created it. Do not go back to doubt. Do not go back to fear. Do not go back to depending on people for what only God can provide. God ended the season so that you could rise above it, not revisit it. Learn the lesson, carry the wisdom, but leave the pain behind, because where God is taking you, all the pain cannot travel. You are not who you were in the beginning of this trial. You have been refined, awakened, and matured. You no longer think like a victim. You think like a victor. You no longer live in reaction. You live in revelation. You no longer seek comfort from others. You carry comfort within. This is what happens when God finishes a tough season. He does not just change your situation. He changes you. There were people who misunderstood you in your season of struggle. They thought your silence was weakness. They thought your delay was defeat. They thought your loss was final. But God allowed it so that when He restores you, no one will be able to take credit. They will have to say, only God could have done this. And He will do it in such a way that even your enemies will have to acknowledge His hand on your life. The same place where you were mocked will become the place where you are celebrated. The same hand that rejected you will wish they had supported you. The same doors that closed on you will open wider than before. God is not only ending your tough time, He is redeeming it. Every tear will become a testimony. Every failure will become wisdom. Every wound will become a weapon. What once broke you will now build you. The most powerful moment in any believer's life is when they realize that God is not late. He is strategic. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour was part of the design. God was protecting you from premature success, from shallow victories, from people who could not handle your future. He was teaching you to wait, to trust, to discern. And now when He says, this is the end, you can stand strong knowing the waiting was worth it. There is something sacred about endurance. When you endure, you inherit authority. You are no longer shaken by small storms because you have seen bigger ones. You are no longer afraid of loss because you have survived emptiness. You are no longer dependent on external validation because you have heard the inner voice of God. That is why your next season will be peaceful, not because life will be perfect, but because you will walk with the perfect trust. Now, as you hear these words, something inside you is awakening. That is the spirit of faith rising again. The heaviness that sat on your chest for months is lifting. The anxiety that kept you awake at night is breaking. You are being strengthened from the inside out. This is not motivation, it is activation. God is activating your destiny, your joy, your courage. He is breathing new life into the dry places of your soul. You will begin to notice signs of confirmation. People you have not heard from will reach out with opportunities. Unexpected doors will open. Situations that were stagnant will suddenly move. Do not call it luck, call it divine timing. This is the reward for your endurance. This is the fruit of your faithfulness. God has remembered you, and when God remembers, everything changes. Every tough time has an expiration date, and yours has arrived. The same way winter cannot stop the coming of spring, darkness cannot stop the dawn that God has commanded. The tough time has done its work. It has shaped your character and purified your motives. You are now ready for divine abundance. You are ready to see the goodness of God in ways you've never seen before. You are ready to walk in peace that cannot be shaken, favor that cannot be denied, and joy that cannot be stolen. This is not the end of your story. It is the end of your struggle. It is not the end of your purpose. It is the end of your pain. From this moment on, every day will reveal why you had to go through what you went through. Every day will uncover a layer of meaning, a trace of divine wisdom hidden in your journey. You will look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Every heartbreak, every delay, every disappointment was a brushstroke in the painting of your destiny. When God decided that your season of suffering has reached its limit, no force in the universe can extend it a second longer. What once chained your progress begins to release you. What once broke your heart begin to heal you. What once made you cry begin to make you wiser. Because when God declares a shift, creation itself bent to obey. The pain that seemed endless suddenly turns into clarity. The confusion that clouded your mind begins to lift. The same valley that once buried your hope becomes the ground where new strength is born. You begin to see that every tear you shed was watering the soil of your next victory. Listen to me, this is not a small shift. This is a divine conclusion. God is not patching up your old life. He is building something entirely new. You will not go back to where you were before the pain. You will not fit into old environment that could no longer contain your purpose. The discomfort you've been feeling is not a sign of failure. It's the birth pain of transformation. God has been stretching you, not breaking you. He has been removing what could not grow with you. Every ending that hurt you was making space for something greater. And now, He says, the tough time has done its job. The season of pruning is complete. Step into the new that I have prepared. Many people misinterpret silence as absence, but God's silence is never abandonment. It is the sacred classroom of faith. When He hides His hand, it is not because He has left you. It is because He is testing what He placed inside you. You prayed for strength, and He gave you challenges. You prayed for faith, and He gave you delays. You prayed for discernment, and He allowed the deception to test your spirit. Each of these moments was not meant to harm you, but to mature you. And now that the lesson has been learned, He says, peace, be still. The storm is over. The silence has served its purpose. Do not underestimate what you endured. You survived what should have broken you. You held on when everything told you to give up. You kept walking when the past disappeared beneath your feet. That is not weakness. That is evidence of divine favor. God does not allow the battle to continue beyond what your spirit can carry. You thought you were being crushed, but you were being crowned. You thought you were losing, but you were being prepared. The waiting was not punishment. It was protection. God was making sure that when He lifts you, you will not fall again. Now, as this tough time ends, you must prepare your heart for increase. When God ends a storm, He does not just restore, He multiplies. He does not just return what was lost. He redeemed the years that were stolen. He does not just bring you out, He brings you higher. But to receive that, your heart must be ready. You cannot enter a new season with an old mindset. You cannot step into abundance with the mentality of lack. You cannot receive divine peace if you still cling to all the fears. The tough time was not meant to just change your circumstances. It was meant to renew your mind. For too long, you have looked at what you lost. But now, God says, look at what you are becoming. The losses were necessary to reveal your true value. The rejection was divine redirection. The closed doors were signs that your destiny was not inside them. The betrayals were purification, not punishment. Every person who left was meant to leave so that your next chapter could begin without distraction. God saw what you could not see. He saw the weight of certain connection, the hidden traps of comfort, the poison of approval. So He allowed the separation to create elevation. And now you will rise differently. You will speak with wisdom that only pain can teach. You will walk with a calmness that only storms can produce. You will love with a discernment that only heartbreak can reveal. You will not chase validation. You will attract the respect. You will not fight for attention. You will walk in divine confidence. Because when you know that God has ended your tough time, you stop begging for peace. You carry it wherever you go. there are moments when the transition feels strange. You begin to sense that the old version of yourself no longer fits. The things that once entertained you now seem meaningless. The people you once relied on no longer understand your language. That's because God is elevating your frequency. You are being tuned to a higher vibration of purpose. The conversations you used to enjoy now drain you because your spirit is evolving. You are not better than anyone else. You are simply being called to greater alignment with God's design for your life. When God declares the end of your tough time, He's not only changing your environment, He's upgrading your perception. You will begin to notice blessings that were always there but hidden behind the fog of pain. You will start to feel grateful for what once hurt you because now you see its divine purpose. You will look at the same people, the same places, the same life, and suddenly everything looks different because you are different. God's grace changes not only what you have, but how you see what you have. Do not be surprised if your peace disturbs others. There are people who thrived on your struggle, who found comfort in your brokenness. They will not understand your calm, your silence, your strength. But do not explain yourself. Let your transformation speak for itself. Let your peace be your proof that God has done what no one else could do. You owe no one an explanation for your healing. You owe no one an apology for your restoration. When God ends the tough season, He gives you authority over it. And that authority does not require approval. My friend, this is the season where God will show you why you had to cry, why you had to wait, why you had to be alone. He is connecting the dots in ways your human mind could never comprehend. What once felt random will now reveal its rhythm. What once felt meaningless will now expose its message. You will see how perfectly everything was orchestrated for your growth. Every disappointment had direction. Every failure had formation. Every delay had divine intention. You will say, now I understand. God's wisdom is often wrapped in pain because pain removes distractions. When everything is comfortable, you stop listening. But when everything breaks, you fall to your knees. And that is when God whispers truth into your soul. He does not shout over your comfort. He speaks through your discomfort. That's why your breaking point was not the end. It was the moment you became teachable. The moment you said, God, I can't do this alone, He began rewriting your story. And now you stand at the border between your past and your promise. You can feel it, a subtle peace, a quiet assurance. You no longer feel desperate, but ready. That's how you know the tough time is truly over. When God ends a season, He replaces striving with stillness. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop worrying and start witnessing. The very energy around you changes because the favor of God has settled upon you. There is one thing you must do now. Guard your peace. Protect what God has restored. Do not let old voices pull you back into old battles. Do not let fear disguise itself as caution. You survive too much to start doubting again. Speak what you want to see. Declare what God has already spoken. Walk as if you already have what you prayed for. Because in the unseen realm, it is already done. And let me tell you this truth. When God brings you out of a tough time, He often does it in a way that surprises everyone, even you. It will not come through the same path you expected. It may come through a conversation, a random opportunity, a shift in your heart. God specializes in the unexpected. He hides blessings in ordinary moments. That's why you must remain sensitive. What looks small may carry your next breakthrough. What looks insignificant may be the door to your destiny. The toughest times in life are never wasted because they make your faith unshakable. You look back and say, if I survive that, I can survive anything. That unbreakable confidence is not arrogance, it is divine awareness. You will no longer fear loss because you know the one who restores. You will no longer fear failure because you understand that failure is just another chapter in the story of faith. You will no longer fear people because you know that no one can stop what God has ordained. The shift is happening now. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are standing in one. The change you prayed for is already in motion. Heaven has already responded to your endurance. You may not see it yet, but you will feel it in your spirit. A calm, a deep sense that the struggle is over. That is not imagination. That is confirmation. God does not tease His children with false hope. If peace has entered your heart, it is because breakthrough has entered your path. When God says your tough time has ended, it is not just a change in your circumstance, it is a shift in the atmosphere around your destiny. The spiritual tension that surrounded your life begins to loosen. The unseen weight that pressed upon your spirit begins to lift. You begin to sense that something has broken in the unseen realm. It is as if a door that was sealed shut for years has been unlocked by the hand of God Himself. The same wind that once carried storms now carries blessings. The same path that once felt heavy now feels light beneath your feet. This is the mystery of divine timing. When God speaks, even the invisible obeys. There were seasons when you were asking, God, when will this end? And heaven remained silent. You thought perhaps you were forgotten, but you were being refined in silence. You were being forged in divine fire. You were being shaped into a vessel that could handle the greatness that was coming. If God had given you what you prayed for when you first asked, it might have destroyed you. But now, after the breaking, the molding, and the waiting, you are ready. You are prepared to carry what He is about to release. God never delays to deny, He delays to develop. And now that development has reached its completion. There is a sacred pattern in every breakthrough. Before the light comes, the longest night. Right before the end of a tough time, the battle always intensifies. The moment you are closest to deliverance is the moment opposition grows strongest. That is how you know your breakthrough is near. The enemy does not fight what is failing. He fights what is rising. And you, my friend, are rising. The intensity you have been feeling was not punishment. It was the signal of your promotion. The final test always comes before divine elevation. But today, God declares that you have passed the test. Now, listen carefully. When God ends a tough time, He does not just bring you relief, He brings revelation. You begin to understand why things had to unfold the way they did. You begin to see that nothing was wasted. Every rejection was protection. Every detour was a redirection. Every closed door was a safeguard from premature success. God was not ignoring you. He was organizing your future. He was positioning you where your destiny could find you. The tough time was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to position you for what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. You see, God never ends one chapter without preparing the next. The pain you endured has become the foundation for wisdom. The tears you cried have become the language of empathy. The silence you walked through has become the birthplace of discernment. You are no longer the same person who entered this struggle. You have been reshaped from the inside out. You carry a new sound, a new presence, a new authority. You have been to the fire and come out refined. You have seen the valley and now you are ready for the mountain. But hear this truth. When God ends your tough time, He does not want you to simply survive. He wants you to thrive. Many people leave a storm but continue to live as if they are still in it. They hold on to the memory of pain so tightly that they cannot embrace the promise of peace. Do not let that be you. The time of crying is over. The time of doubting is over. The time of merely enduring is over. God is calling you into fullness, into laughter, into boldness. The night has ended. It is time to rise with the morning light. This is the moment to shift your posture. You are no longer the one waiting. You are the one walking into fulfillment. You are no longer the one asking when. You are the one witnessing how. Speak differently, think differently, pray differently. Let your words carry the authority of someone who knows their season has changed. Let your heart release the fear that once held it captive. Let your spirit awaken with expectancy. Because when God declares an end, there is no negotiation. The storm must obey. The burden must lift. The struggle must bow. And I tell you this with conviction. The reason your tough time lasted as long as it did is because God was building capacity within you. Every delay stretched your faith. Every hardship expanded your endurance. Every disappointment deepened your trust. You are being prepared to handle the abundance that would follow. God will never pour a great blessing into a small vessel. He enlarges the vessel first through process, through pressure, through perseverance. And once it is strong enough, He releases the overflow. That is where you stand now, at the edge of overflow. You may have noticed how certain things no longer affect you the way they used to. The same words that once wounded you now roll off your back. The same problems that once stole your sleep no longer shake your peace. That is evidence that your season has changed. God has elevated your inner strength. You are no longer reactive. You are reflective. You are no longer begging for understanding. You are walking in clarity. The struggle that once defined you no longer controls you. This is what it means to be transformed by endurance. Your soul has matured beyond the chaos. And now God will reward you openly for what you endured privately. The prayers that no one knew about, the tears that no one saw, the sacrifices that went unnoticed, all of it has reached His throne. You did not endure in vain. Every hidden act of faith has built a case for divine reward. God is not unjust. He does not forget faithfulness. He counts every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose to trust Him when nothing made sense. And now that season of quiet endurance is giving birth to visible blessing. But remember this, the blessing is not just for comfort, it is for purpose. God did not bring you through the storm just so you could say, I made it. He brought you through so you could guide others through their own. Your testimony will become their survival manual. Your wisdom will become their hope. You will speak to the broken and they will believe you because your words will carry the fragrance of truth. You have walked through the fire, so your voice now carries fire. You have cried in secret, so your compassion now carries weight. God uses the healed to heal. Do not despise what you went through, because it produced something eternal in you. It carved out humility, gratitude, and spiritual awareness. You have learned to see God not only in blessings but in battles. You have discovered that His power is not just in miracles but in endurance. And that revelation can never be taken from you. That is why your next season will not be built on fear but on faith. You have seen the worst and survived it. Now you will see the best and sustain it. There will be moments when you still feel the residue of your tough time. You may wake up one morning and feel that old fear whisper again. But do not let it deceive you. It is only a shadow, not substance. The tough time is over. God has already sealed it with His decree. The only power the past holds is the power you give it through memory. So release it. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Let go of the narrative that once defined you. God has written a new one, and it begins with a peace. This is also the season where God will vindicate you. Those who doubted your strength will witness your stability. Those who questioned your faith will see your fruit. Those who mocked your delay will watch your divine acceleration. God is not cruel. He restores with precision. He repays with interest. Every tear you sowed in sorrow will return multiplied in joy. Every night of worry will return as days of laughter. Every betrayal will return as protection revealed. Nothing you endured was wasted. It was all investment in your future. Now, as you walk forward, walk with a new rhythm, slow, steady, confident. Do not rush. God is not late, and neither are you. Everything that belongs to you is already aligned on your path. The right opportunities will recognize your energy. The right people will discern your value. The right moments will appear at the appointed time. You do not have to chase what God has ordained. The same divine power that ended your tough time will guide your footstep into abundance. Look around with the spiritual eyes. Can you feel it? The air around your life has changed. What once felt heavy now feels holy. What once felt cursed now feels charged with a promise. This is not coincidence. It is divine confirmation. God has turned the page. You are no longer under the chapter of endurance. You are under the chapter of emergence. The long night is over. The new dawn has begun. And now, with the confidence of faith, declare it within yourself. My tough time has ended. Speak it not as a hope, but as a fact. Speak it as someone who knows that the word of God is final. The moment you align your speech with His promise, everything begins to synchronize with that truth. Heaven responds to faith-filled words. Speak light, and light will manifest. Speak peace, and peace will multiply. Speak abundance, and doors will open. You have carried sorrow for too long. Now it is time to carry joy. You have carried the questions for too long. Now it is time to carry answers. You have carried the fear for too long. Now it is time to carry faith. The God who sustained you through darkness is now crowning you with the light. This is your moment of divine reversal. The tide has turned. The tough time has expired. God has spoken, and His word stands forever. And now, my friend, hear this final truth. With the full weight of your spirit, your tough time is over. God has spoken, and when God speaks, no power on earth or in the unseen can oppose it. What was once heavy is now light. What was once blocked is now open. What was once delayed is now accelerated. You are stepping into a season of abundance, peace, favor, and divine alignment. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of doubt has been transformed into strength, wisdom, and testimony. Rise with confidence, for God's hand is upon you. Walk boldly into the new chapter He has written for you, knowing that every step you take is guided, protected, and prospered by Him. Do not look back. Do not cling to the old seasons. Carry the lessons, but leave the pain behind. Speak life over yourself. Declare victory in every area of your existence. Your past no longer defines you. Your destiny now moves forward under the authority of God's perfect timing. This is your moment. This is your shift. God has ended your tough time. And from this day forward, everything aligns with His promise. Step into it with faith. Walk into it with courage. And live it with unwavering confidence. The battle is over. The test is complete. The victory is yours. Your season of breakthrough, blessing, and divine fulfillment begins now.